up, Lincoln?
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break, brought to you by Sandhills Global, live from Lincoln, America. Here's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
I want to buy a couple ducks. I'm bringing 2 ducks to the office.
This is Early Break.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Bill Busch on Early Break. Sip and I are both in the studio, and Bill is live once again from his grand piano room. And Bill, you have to unmute yourself because I tried. You got to unmute yourself, Bill.
Oh, boy.
There we go. Unmute.
Good job,
Yep.
Bill.
I tried. It says you have to unmute yourself.
Come on, Bill.
Yep.
How
Yep.
about
There
now?
we go.
How about now?
Can't hear him.
I'm unmuted.
Can't hear him, Ben. This is technology at its finest. What we do
I'm
here.
unmuted, Ben.
There we go. All right. There we go.
There
All right.
we
We
go.
got it.
Ben's got it.
Love-
There we go.
Love technology.
0-1-9er. The Eagle has landed.
He's here.
0-1-9er.
Bill, where are you at with this wonderful grand piano once again in the background like we saw a month or two ago?
Well, it's a classic example of taking it to the street. I left the studio yesterday on our pilgrimage for 93.7 equals 93 counties.
That's right.
With Rebecca has jumped into the middle of this. And so I took off right from when the show ended and I'm driving Nebraska. So ended up in Broken Bow, and I'll head north to Burwell here next and try to get every county I can to try to get involved with our giving for 1890.
A true campaign man.
Yes.
He is. Yep.
I appreciate this, Bill.
Yes.
I like that I don't see him. I like that I don't see
You can just
Bill.
hear him. You can just envision him with the grand
I
piano
just
in the
want to have a
background.
vision, and that's it. It's fine. It's perfect. I like this.
I found my way to Broken Bow, and I texted this to Jake last night. I'm telling you what, you talk about being in a Hallmark movie. This is it. I don't know if my love for Aurora and Holdridge and all the surrounding towns. It's Broken Bow. Oh, wow.
Talk
They have
really loud.
they have 7 hotels. I'm too loud?
No, you're good. You're good.
We need you to talk loud.
He's good. Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
I think that maybe Steve's ears problems may have came back.
Yeah. You sound fine. You sound fine to me, Bill. But
yeah, that's the
there's
interesting
7
part.
hotels in Broken Bow.
Is there 7?
Yeah, it seemed like there were 7 hotels. They have everything here. They have the old school Pizza Hut. They have the old school pizza. They have a convention center. I'm at a convention center right now.
They have old school Pizza Hut?
Yeah, the one
I have
that,
in my pocket?
Yep, the one that Steve and myself grew up in. Yes, with
You
the
know what
red
I have in
caps.
my pocket?
What do you have in your pockets?
A new school gift card to Pizza Hut.
You do.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
No, I'm not joking. I could show it to you. It's in my front jacket pocket. I'm going to Pizza Hut today.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
You could do it. Go to Broken Bow and meet Bill and have Pizza Hut with your gift card you have.
They have an old school Pizza Hut?
Yes, it looks just like it's like 1974 when you drove by it. It
Hey,
just
Bill.
made you so happy.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
What a beautiful
I
sight.
want to tell you something about better times. We had the YMCA experience as youth,
Yes.
and the Pizza Hut in Columbus was right next to the YMCA. It was
Better
just like-
times.
oh my God, it was incredible. Better, and the holiday store right there. So there's a quick stop. That's where I'd go in and get my tobacco when I was 13.
Memories.
Better times.
Better times.
Better times. Jim Savota would have loved that.
Okay, so you're out in Broken Bow, but you're up and you sound chipper, Bill.
Very chipper. I'm very excited. Get to hang out with the Trotter family today.
Okay.
And so very excited about a little event we have going on. And like I said, this Broken Bow is a wow. They have a town square, don't they, Jake?
They
Right
do.
in the middle of town.
They do. I've been to a restaurant. I forget what it's called. There's a bar, a sports bar type there. I've been there one time. I told Bill when he was telling me how great the town was. I said, "Did you go to Kincaidor?" He said, "What's that?" I said, "It's the big brewery that is started in Broken Bow."
That's more of a kid thing, I think.
It's not a kid thing. Adults and
It'd be youth.
adults go to the breweries too.
That really?
Yeah.
Like, are my age
Yeah,
be in there?
Absolutely. You go because there's a Kincaidor tap room here in Lincoln.
Am
in the
I,
Haymarket.
are me and Bill welcome in a place like that?
You would be more than
I
welcome.
don't know if we'd be welcome, Steve. I think right
Okay.
away they would look at us a little different.
Like, you guys are a little old for this,
Especially when you walked into the brewery, asked for 2 Bud Heavies.
Yeah, that might get a look. That might get a look for sure. I don't want your craft stuff. I want some Bud.
We don't want this shit. Hey,
That
we
would
made
be
this
cool.
apple cider. You'll just love it. Well, we'll have 2 Bud Heavies, 6 tall boys.
We made this apple cider. Hey, who's the Trotter family?
Well, they basically have in charge of all of Broken Bow, and so they have numerous industries out here. This is going to be an ag-based industry, which you guys know that's kind of where I specialize at now, is in the ag group. There's also going to be a special guest here today, Steve, and
that is
Bird
In Columbus.
You're kidding me. You're kidding.
Bird in Columbus is going to be on the scene in Broken Bow.
As
Yes.
part of this. Why is Bird gonna be there? Can you tell me?
Just another guest speaker.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So wait. So Bill Busch is speaking, and Bird in Columbus is also speaking at the same symposium here. Is that a good word? Symposium.
That's a good word.
Thank you.
Symposium's a great word. Yes, it's a tremendous word.
Wow. So
you
Bird's
get to
gonna
share
be
the stage with Bird in Columbus. This is an epic day.
I wonder if that means Bird's not going to appear on our show today.
I know he's driving, but he can text in.
Yeah, he can text.
He's smart driving here, Bird.
He's en route right now. He's en route.
Okay.
Okay. Ben's here. Everybody's here.
And Bill is with us, not in studio, but he's with us from Broken Bow, from the grand piano room that he resides in right now.
It's a gorgeous day in Lincoln, Bill, and we're going to do this sports talk show now.
By the way, I've seen on the text line, the first text that came from Cody in Broken Bow. He says, "Welcome to Broken Bow, Bill. Sorry I missed you last night." From Cody.
They have a Arrow Hotel, which is an old classic hotel, which is historical. And I found out yesterday through conversation, it's also haunted.
Oh,
and so that interests me. And
Whoa.
I drove by it yesterday. It looked incredible.
Did you hear anything funny? Like, woo!
What if all of a sudden the van pulled up and it was Scooby Doo trying to solve a mystery?
You kind of.
They had a lot of haunted days.
I can't see you going in there, Bill, because you've told us you don't like scary things. I can't see you going into
I would not have stayed there. I would
Okay.
not have stayed there, but I appreciate that. But that would have scared. I went to Cobblestone. It's incredible.
Okay, the Cobblestone, and
This room.
What? Go ahead. Sorry.
This room, Steve. If you had this room for the bowl game in New York City, would be $1,200 a night.
Ooh,
I think that's light. I think it's more than that, Bill.
This room's incredible. I'm in a gigantic suite, and it would be in New York City. You're right. It'd probably be more like $2,200 a night if you're in New York City. That's how well they treat you here in Broken Bow.
Wow, it's a suite.
He's on top of things there.
Is the breakfast being set out right now?
I'm going to try to whisk down there in between breaks and see if I can maybe get some coffee and see what they have. Maybe a Danish.
That sounds good.
That'd be a good idea. Sip, anything for you for idle chit chat?
Wednesday. No, I was thinking about it driving in. All I did yesterday was I worked, then I worked out, then I worked, then I worked, and then I worked, and then I fell asleep.
That's a day.
Yeah, it was a day. It was a day yesterday.
That feels like my day. I feel like I worked all day also.
Yeah.
So I really have nothing to add.
You were
for idle chit chat.
You were out of the news.
Well, you told me. We'll get to something that you told me before the show in a second. I wasn't aware of a second commitment yesterday, which, again, I was buried in stuff yesterday, but we'll get to that here in a second. That is Idle Chit Chat, sponsored by our friends at Renew. Please call or text at 402-833-3858 or go to renewyourauto.com for December only. Rust proofing and undercoating packages and ceramic coatings are $100 off if you mention the ticket and or early break. See what Renew can do for you. RenewYourAuto.com. The news keeps coming through the portal. Nebraska got 2 more additions yesterday, Sip. We started learning in the morning or early afternoon that Nebraska landed East Tennessee State transfer defensive lineman Jalen George. He is a 6'2", 260-pound D lineman who is a first-team all-conference selection this year at ETSU. 33 total tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and a half a sack on the season. He had heard from Louisville, Tulsa, and Buffalo.
Okay.
The teams that he had heard from before Nebraska was his choice.
Jalen George is one. Then the one that Jake wasn't aware of, Bill, was
happened later in the day.
Was now this is a punter. Now Bill might be sort of interested in this. His name is Jake McAllister.
Jack McAllister.
Yeah, Jack. It is Jack. And I wrote about him and I got his name wrong. Jack McAllister. Jack McAllister was a 3-year starter for Washington, punter and holder. Now you would say, okay, and this is what I asked Jack. This final question, Jack, why? Why are you leaving? And I would say that there are some cases when the portal makes complete sense. And I would say this is one. That it's not ideal for Jack McAllister because he's a native of Edmonds, Washington. He's lived there his whole life. He's just, like I said, 3-year starter for Washington. Good numbers, good to very good numbers. But Washington decided, Bill, this is according to Jack McAllister, that it came down to the special team staff at Washington. They want to go to a different scheme, and they want to roll out punter. He's a pocket punter.
Yeah, so it sounds like they want to be a rugby punting team, and so they're probably looking to be a rugby punting team. Which is there's always multiple ways that you can do things with how you punt. So that is a rough talent if you haven't built that up. Brian Buschini could do that.
Could he do it rollout?
Yeah, he did. We called it rodeo, and he was very proficient at it. And I don't know how much they did this year, but he has that ability. And it was nice. What you'd like to have it as a changeup, as a curveball. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, do they do this? And also, oh, boom, there it is. Mm-hmm. And but you have to be able to execute both, and that's a very hard task. And so, being a pocket punter is a great skill, and that I wouldn't see that as any a concern for Nebraska at all. And also, it makes sense. Like I said, we're changing schemes. It's like you decide to go triple option, with your offense, you change quarterbacks. Nebraska started going to Turner Gill instead of a Vince Ferragamo type of a quarterback because they changed schemes.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, for those who would be curious, I mean, what's the benefit of going to that type of punting versus pocket punting, Bill, from what over the years you've learned?
Well, it allows you, if you can protect it, which normally you can, the time it takes to when you catch the ball to when you start to roll, when the ball leaves your foot, it generally takes more time, which allows more coverage time down the field. That'd be one of the big things it does. Also, the ones that are really good are the ones that can cross kick it, which means you're going to kick across the field and also down the same side that they're on. And there's also the ability with these punters, if they can kick the ball and get the ball on the ground, if you can get a clean one hop, you get a lot of roll. And so you have more versatility in the punt of what you have. And you see a lot. There were several rugby punters that did that in college and then don't do it in the NFL, but have the ability to do it. So the one thing about being punting from the pocket is that's still 99.9% of your NFL punts is be able to punt from the pocket. It's a completely different scheme in the NFL.
Jack McAllister visited only Nebraska, and Nebraska was the only school he was interested in. He termed it an easy choice. Now he will be Washington's punter for the Sun Bowl against Louisville on December 31. And then will arrive on Nebraska's campus in January. His numbers, again, they were good. He averaged, 42. So during the course of his collegiate career, again, 3-year starter, 3 full seasons. I think he missed 1 game. He wasn't the starter as a sophomore. 42.3 yard average on 104 punts, 31 placed inside the 20, and I think that's 37% of them or something like that. He 8 punts this season's of 50 yards plus. I think the number that would resonate most with Bill is his career. He has a career net of 37.7. So that's his numbers. He's on his way. Sort of. First, he's got to play in the Sun Bowl.
What's an ideal net that you want for a punter, Bill?
Oh, you'd like to be at 40, but that has nothing to do with the punter, or not nothing. It doesn't have everything to do with the punter. If your net can be, like I said, you punt the ball great, and let's say you also have good hang time, and your coverage unit doesn't do as well, that can affect your net. And so there's different things that go with the net. The thing that always jumps out is when, and also at the same time, don't get enamored with the gross either with his average,
Right?
is because sometimes you can be just hitting line drive balls that are going 49, 50 yards. They're line drives, and they're coming back 10, 15 yards every time back at you because there's no hang time. And so there's a little bit of numbers are numbers, and those are real. There's also a time where your offense might be the one that completely controls your numbers, because you might all of a sudden they might die out 4 times in a dagger punt situation, and you're punting from your 44-yard line, where you might have a great punt, but it's only a 32-yard net, and so you can't get yourself. A lot of times it comes down to like, what's it look like? How do you see him hit the ball? What's his talent? Because sometimes those numbers can be off. That's for sure.
This is Jack McAllister, he's coming to Nebraska via the transfer portal. So now what is it? They have 4 players from the portal,
Yes.
Jake. They have Williams
Newerney from Missouri.
He'd be the most decorated of the guys. They have a kid named Kevin Gallick, who's a long snapper from New Hampshire.
Correct.
They have this kid, Jack McAllister, who's coming as a punter from Washington. And then Jalen George, who Jake mentioned. I filmed him up yesterday.
Oh, you did? Ooh.
Yeah.
What was the result?
Well, it's fascinating. He's very interesting. I mean, now here's the thing. It was his high school film. And he is I don't know. I don't know his whole story. He played at Collins Hill High School in Sewanee, Georgia. So it was good talent around him, and he played good talent. That's 7A, though, Bill. Is 7A small or big?
Big.
Okay, so he played for a Georgia state championship team on 7A, and it was good. You could see, I mean, when you watch Georgia film, it's different than watching Kansas, state of Kansas film. It's a different deal. And he was
Topeka.
Yeah. What strikes you about him is he did play some offensive line. Like, he played tackle. He just buries people as an offensive tackle. He actually was playing some will linebacker. So he's not real big. He's 6'2", 265. He doesn't look that big in high school, but he's super athletic and I would say super athletic for a big. And I hesitate to say things like this.
You couldn't find any college video at all? From
No,
him?
I couldn't say. I couldn't find any. It's like Huddle doesn't have the college video.
All right.
And he has that. I hesitate to say things like this because it sounds haughty, but he has that all-important short area quickness. But here's the thing.
So would you call it
Go ahead, Bill, please.
Would you call it a barnyard cat-like agility?
No.
That's what I'm gathering.
He's really athletic, though. I will say that. He's very athletic. So I get it. I get why, to use a Bill term, people would become enamored with him. I mean, he plays the game with a lot of joy. But at East Tennessee State, now this is a big question I have in my mind. They're playing Mercer. Yep. They're playing Wofford. They're playing the Citadel. How's that going to translate when you're playing Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State and USC? I don't know. This
is the factor of, again, trying to prove that you are FBS level worthy. And that's why, again, you don't want a full roster of guys coming from FCS, but I think a lot of these guys want to prove that they belong. And so I can't speak for him and say that's how he's operating, but that's why, like, when I see these names, I don't say, oh, it's not a FBS Power 5 school. No, there's a chance of somebody to go make a statement and prove that I can be a Power 5 player.
Yeah.
My theory is I love players that are playing up than those that are playing across the board, except for maybe at the quarterback position and some things. Even at that position, it still happens. So I think for that reason, I have zero concern about the fact that he's FCS, because there's so many FCS players that are so. You just watch some of those playoff games. It's like I said, if the quarterback for Montana State was on right now, you'd be talking about him being a great Mountain West / they're in Big Ten. They'd love to have had him starting in numerous Big Ten schools this year.
Is that right?
Quarterback, yes. So there's players everywhere. So I think it's probably a really good evaluation by Nebraska.
Yeah, I'd say so. Looking at his high school tape, so he's a 3-to-play 2 guy, 2 years of eligibility left. And I don't know what you. I mean, he doesn't look like the type of guy you'd put over the center, but he does look like the type of guy like in that if they're playing 3 down, he could play on one of those edges. He looks like that type of guy. And the joy. I mean, he is striking to watch. I will say that. So we'll just see where it goes.
There's 10 more days of the portal being open. So again, like
there's
you said,
more.
Four players so far have committed to Nebraska. We'll see how many more will end up in Lincoln.
They have there's a Wake Forest offensive lineman that's here. He got offered yesterday. His name is Keegan Trost. He's big, 6'4", 305. Was a starter for Wake Forest this year. He is, if he's not here, he's coming. The big one though to watch, I guess I can't skip over, is Isaiah World. That's the one everybody's watching. The tackle
from Nevada.
Yeah, the tackle from Nevada. He's 6'8" and 320 or 315. He's been to Texas A&M. After Nebraska, he'll go to Oregon, and that's. I mean, if they would get. That'd be a sort of like a home run, you just got to kind of watch that one. And then there's a kid, Andrew Marshall from Idaho, is a defensive back, another kid playing up, but apparently he's a big priority. He arrived Tuesday night and has heavy interest from the Power Four. There's some other guys that, like Bill mentioned this yesterday, that were supposed to come that aren't coming. That I talked about a kid from Rhode Island, an edge named AJ Pena, not coming. I talked about a kid from Missouri, a defensive lineman named DJ Wesselak, who played at Oregon State. He's no longer coming. So they scratch off, then some guys pop on the radar that you weren't expecting.
This whole period, this December 9th through 28th, is absolute madness. It is.
It's chaotic.
It is complete chaos. I cannot imagine being, if Bill was involved in this, I cannot imagine the 19 days this would be. Just every moment, this guy's coming in. Nope, not anymore. This guy's coming in now. I can't imagine that. It'd be correct. Plus, getting ready for a bowl game.
Steve, what is this? Has this been fun or has it been a nightmare? Because part of the nightmare is now you never had to cover this sort of crazy plan and numbers and transfers and all this information. At the same time, it gives you a lot of information to write about. It gives you a storyline. Which one is it? Which one is it?
It's really good for business. It's good for our business. It's good for the radio business. It gives us a lot to talk about, and there's a lot to write about. So no, it's good, and it's not overwhelming because I don't listen. I'm not the lead guy in this. Sean is, and even when I was at the Journal-Star and things were crazy, it was Parker Gabriel. So I just kind of help where I can, and I am interested in it. I'm very interested in it. I'm very interested in a guy like Jack McAllister, who said it was, this makes sense for him. He said it wasn't easy. He's lived his whole life in Washington. He played for his home state school. And it's not a small thing for a kid like that. And he's not really a kid anymore, right, Bill? He's
a grown man. Yeah.
He's a grown man, but he's got to make this big change, this sudden big move to Lincoln, Nebraska from Seattle. He said he was struck by how different it is here. He goes, Did
you see the sun? Was there sunshine?
Well, it's like more wide open space out here. And he said it was interesting from that standpoint to him. So, but here's Jack McAllister coming in, and I don't know, Bill, these kids, they're transient. They're more transient now. He won't know anybody, but he gets to know people like anybody else as the time goes on. I think it's a very odd time in college football. I don't know how long this is going to last, if it's going to be like this. Do you think it'll be like this in 5 years is my question?
No, things will change. There has to be some form of change that will happen. I was on a just like Steve does. I was asked to be a guest on a bonus radio show yesterday, and they asked me about.
Yes.
Steve does a lot of that for his brand.
Easy.
And they asked about, what do you think about Belichick? And I said, from now doing some form of media standpoint, being on the radio, I said, I absolutely love it. It's phenomenal because it is great to watch.
Right.
and have things to talk about. I mean, that the story of that all of a sudden Bill Belichick's coaching at North Carolina is interesting. It's fun to follow. And so sometimes when things happen like this for the pundits, it's a lot of fun and gives you things to look into daily.
Yeah, so definitely from that standpoint, it's great. By the way, I did finally watch film of Williams
New Ernie.
Yeah, and that is okay. Now you get it. You turn it on, and you're like, okay, now you get the whole 5-star thing. I mean, it just looks okay. I don't mind saying.
Was this high school film you watched?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have any Missouri film. He made 2 tackles. I think he played 38 snaps at Missouri.
Does that confuse you why he didn't play there then?
A little bit. I mean, you never know. Like Bill always says, you don't want to get into that too much. And plus, he is a lineman. He is 6'6", 260. So it's not like 6'4", 220 outside linebacker. Maybe we can play him on the line of scrimmage. And now he's a big, okay, I'm just going to say he's a bigger version of Randy Gregory. He reminds you of Gregory a lot. That's what he looks like. But imagine Gregory being 30 pounds heavier and playing, I don't know, they move him in. He plays inside more than Gregory would have. But he is, I mean, right away, the first words are, oh, damn. It's like that. And that's what it should be with a 5-star player, right? That's the way it should. The film should be that way. Oh God, he's 6'6", 260, and he moves. He's a punishing tackler, and what he does a lot of that I like, and I call it modern college football, is he bats down a lot of passes. He gets those long arms up, and he's batting down passes. But you get it when you see it. It's like, oh God. Oh.
So you're calling here Randy Gregory 2.0.
No, I'm not doing that at all.
That's what I heard, Bill.
No.
Sounds just like him.
I think I heard something very similar. I'm
just making sure I heard you correctly.
I'm not doing that. He reminds you of that. I mean, he's 6'6". I mean, they haven't had that over there, very much of that. I always, Bill, when Randy Gregory was here, one of the pundits, just said under his breath, we were at practice, and it was the first time we laid eyes on Randy Gregory, and one of the pundits, I won't say who, said, did he get lost on his way to the SEC? I mean, that's what it looked like, well, wait a second, that we haven't seen that around here. And this guy's exciting. Bill, you recruited him when he was a freshman, right? Or when he was a younger guy?
Yes, coming out of high school. Yes.
And you knew about him then? Yes.
That he's been on campus, so there's a lot of connection. Obviously, Coach Mosey's there is a big connection for him now that probably one of the main reasons that things got started, and then the process just took over. But I'm not on the inside anymore. But he's a great young man, and like you said, when you see him, it's you understand why he has the recruiting people just going crazy over him, and again, he's a great person.
Yeah, he's an oh God. All right, let's get to early.
Before we get to break, I know that you're starving. Bill's going to have some Broken Bow breakfast too. But if he were here with,
if I was not here, where would I go, Jake?
I would assume you'd want to go to Early Bird.
Why is that?
Because they got breakfast burritos. They got chicken fried steak, which is what, Bill?
Smothered.
They have
what the people sitting next to me think in the hotel.
This guy's yelling over here. They got pancakes.
They're okay.
They have cinnamon roll pancakes, banana pancakes, strawberry pancakes, blueberry pancakes, and
huckleberry.
And the world famous hash holes.
Hash hole.
Good job. That was good, Bill. Hash hole.
Yeah, listen to the hotel room.
You're fine.
People are confused.
2 feet away from I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get a phone call.
It's okay.
You're going to get a phone call.
Locations in Lincoln at 19th and K, also in Omaha and Iowa. Early Bird open 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day for breakfast, brunch, and lunch. When we come back, Husker Online Sean Callahan is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Midwest Bank, they want to thank all the generous donors who helped make their 2024 turkey drive for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, they raised enough money to provide 153 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, they made Thanksgiving Day for those families a little brighter. They want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store year after year after year. Located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road, stop in today to get your holiday shopping done and mention this ad for a free pair of dress socks. M Suits Clothiers.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
When we're building homes for people, we're really trying to advise on the things that are going to create value so that when they go to sell it, they're going to have equity so that they can go build their second home.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, the year has been a great year for Aspen Builders. We have had many repeat customers. We've been very blessed with great office staff, with great employees, and great subcontractors. We worked with a lot of new people building their dream home. We've built some great relationships. A lot of those relationships will continue. We'll be building them another new home down the road. So I'd like to take this time to wish all of our past customers and our future customers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
This
I'm not on drugs. I'm not drunk.
is Early Break. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
10 days away from the portal closing, December 28th, the same day as Nebraska's bowl game. We're now joined by Husker Alliance Sean Callahan. Sean, good morning. We just asked Sip this question last night. We'll ask you the same thing. Has the month of December been fun or overwhelming with all the news, or a combination of both on your end, Sean?
Well, it's honestly always overwhelming, but it's a little bit more manageable this time around because we're not worrying about high school recruits. We're not worrying about coaches on the road. I mean, think about the last couple of years before this. You've had to worry about all the high school coaches, all the in-home visits, and then the portal stuff too. They've at least tied that up now where that all takes place for the high school recruits and a couple weeks earlier, and the coaches don't have to go on the road, and you're not trying to figure out where they're going to do visits. But yeah, it's a lot, mainly because you're trying to learn about new names that you've never really covered. And then, you have to figure out who these guys are and what their playing accolades were. And if they're going to make it a Lincoln, and then if they're going to commit, and there's the NIL factor to it. But yeah, the Dante Dowdell thing this week was surprising just because you kind of thought, okay, he had a great year. Nebraska helped this guy kind of get his career going and he'll be back next year. No, he won't be back next year. He's moving on. So, I mean, those are kind of the confusing parts of the portal as, we all try to grasp this new era of college football.
Sean, that's an interesting way to put it on Dowdell, that Nebraska kind of got his career going. I hadn't heard it put like that, but that's true. I mean, he didn't have he got beat out at Oregon by better players, Sean. He didn't get a raw deal at Oregon. He got beat out. Okay. But at Nebraska, he kind of got an opportunity. So that one surprised you a little bit, huh?
Well, and I'll say this, when he first got here in the spring, I mean, the reports that we got from pretty good people that he had a long ways to go. So,
yes,
give him credit. He got himself to the point he was. But when he first got here, they didn't even know where he was at in their room. And then he, advanced and did what he did as things moved forward. And had a good year. But yeah, Nebraska, gave him, and I'm sure he wants to be an outright number one with Emmett Johnson coming back. He's not going to probably be treated like an outright number one if he stayed here. And it's money. I mean, we know what's going on with the agents and things in college football. And if he thinks that a top deal is out there for him and that, is more than he's going to get here, guys are leaving. We're seeing that everywhere in college football.
Hey, Sean Callahan joins us. You've covered college football for what, a quarter century. And you don't, I don't expect people to take a step back and kind of ponder the big picture, because it's hard to do when you're in the middle of the fray. But do you get this part of this, that we're not even really paying attention to the current team, which is preparing for its first bowl game since 2016. Is that your sense? That's kind of like, oh yeah, and there's a team preparing for a game over there too.
It's funny, the bowl games in general, other than the playoff, they're just not getting much attention. I mean, even if you're playing like in the Citrus Bowl, which is a good bowl game, or a higher bowl than the Pinstripe Bowl, I'm sure it's the same way at Ole Miss right now. They're not worried about Illinois. They're worried about getting Kewan Lacey,
right?
And some of the stuff that's going on down there. And
right,
I had one coach say that their team. I talked to a guy at another school, and they didn't make a bowl. They're at 5 wins, and he's like, in some ways, I think the players were, that some of these players have a foot out the door in December because playing in a bowl game is kind of a pain. Because as a player, it's extra practice, or you're looking to go in the portal, or you're looking to go to the NFL draft and do other things. So I do think that the discussion of what a bowl game was has changed significantly, especially in this portal era where the December practices are helpful, but are they helpful for guys that want to leave or guys that want to go to the NFL and whatnot? It's just a different tone, I think.
Sean, we know that Danny Kalen's going to Virginia. Heinrich Harburg apparently going to be a tight end going forward for Nebraska. So the question is, Marcos Davila is visiting from Purdue, but what is Nebraska's backup situation going forward going to look like behind Dylan Raiola?
Yeah, that's a great question because we still don't know if Jalen Gramstad would return for another year. And they'll have a freshman coming in, obviously, and they'll have some other pieces. But, it's not a really defined backup situation other than Heinrich Harburg could always go back and play quarterback and be like an emergency quarterback. But I do think Dana Holgerson really is high on Harburg as a tight end, and I think that he can have a really good year at that position moving forward. But finding a portal quarterback that wants to come here in that situation is probably the challenge. Because you got to find a guy that has to understand that you're the backup to Dylan Raiola, and Dylan Raiola is only a sophomore, so it's not a real attractive sell out there. And Davila was here. I'm sure he's looking at some other places, but he's essentially another version of Danny Kalen, and you got to try to find a guy like that would want to come here understanding the situation.
Sean Callahan joins us, and I hate to we kind of danced around this, but we have Sean Callahan on the line, so we have to ask Sean Callahan, who breaks a lot of this news, most of this news. Who's next, Sean?
As far as commits or visits?
I should be clearer. As far as commits, who do you think Nebraska will garner a portal commit from next?
That's a really hard question. Dominic Gadice from Michigan, you just don't have a good feel on him on the offensive lineman. They had a couple D linemen in earlier, Jonah Pace and Cameron Olds.
Okay.
I think those are ones to watch still. What both players, I think Iowa feels good about Olds though too. There's thing is, a lot of these players have competition. Isaiah Worrell could make a decision by this weekend.
Okay.
And that's between Oregon and Texas A&M and Nebraska. Eric Rivers is here. We're kind of waiting on him, the wide receiver from FIU. Gabe Moore is here right now. Keegan Tross, the starting right tackle from Wake Forest, he's on campus for a visit here starting today. And then, the one I'll throw out there, Andrew Marshall,
yes,
from Idaho. Dan Jackson, guy with Nebraska Omaha ties, was his defensive coordinator. That staff, Jason Eck and Dan Jackson, they're going to New Mexico to coach there. So a number of players from Idaho who had a very good year will follow that staff to New Mexico. But Marshall is a name to watch. He's probably one of their best prospects, and he's got a lot of Power 4 interest. He just went on the portal this week. High Power 4. Alabama's, Georgia's, everybody's reached out to him. But he's in Lincoln. So that's one to watch. And I do know that Nebraska's off to a good start. The big one this weekend is Nyza Hunter, the Cal wide receiver.
Okay.
That's probably the receiver they covet as much as any in the portal. He was Cal's leading wide receiver, and he's got 3 years of eligibility remaining.
And when I know it's hard to predict, but when would you think he'll make a decision?
Well, the visits close this weekend, so you'd have to wait all the way until early January to take more trips. Ideally, I think a lot of these guys want to make a decision after the visit weekend. So I would think before Christmas for a lot of these names. Lots going to happen from now until like the 22nd and 23rd.
Okay.
Sean, always good stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you soon.
Hey, thanks, guys.
South Carolina, Sean Callahan, breaking down all things in the transfer portal. Busy month, as we all know. And Sean says not overwhelming so far.
Not so far. I think it could get that way. It just depends. They have 4. Nebraska has 4 commitments from players out of the portal. I think that number could get to 12 or 15, in the
next 10 days.
Yeah. So that's actually quite a few.
A lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. Andrew Marshall. He mentioned Andrew Marshall. I know that one's on his mind because he talks about him all the time. He's Idaho, kid from Idaho. I don't know what I don't know if he's a safety or corner, and I would counsel people don't even get too wrapped up in that conversation because those guys move around so much. You know what I mean? Like Marquise Buford.
Yes. Was he a safety or is he a cornerback?
Right,
What
played
is
both.
he?
Played both. So that's one to definitely watch. And Isaiah World's one to watch, but it's only Wednesday. He probably won't be decided until the weekend. That's the big one though. It'll be your left tackle. He's $1 million player.
When does Nebraska head to the bowl game?
Nebraska, I think they head to the bowl game on Monday.
Okay, the
Monday.
23rd.
Yeah, that's it.
And then you got the chaos of the next 5 days that follow in terms of preparing for that game and also closing out the portal.
Right, it's chaos. It's chaotic.
Fun times.
I think you can use the word chaotic.
It is. Well, before we get to break, reminder that segment 2 is always sponsored by our friends at Beck's Hybrids. Farmers, we know that volume discounts are a major factor when ordering seed. Oftentimes, discounts are lost buying from multiple brands, but Beck's has the most diverse lineup in the marketplace. For a full farm quote, go to beckshybrids.com and always remember the 3 F's: faith, family, and farming at Beck's Hybrids, who also wishes you all a Merry Christmas. Bill.
Tell you what, it was nice driving out here and just seeing all the Beck signs that I passed on the way out to Broken Bow. So, like I said, Trevor and the crew are doing a tremendous job. And Merry Christmas to those guys at Beck's. They mean a lot to us.
Trevor and the gang at Beck's.
It's a big game.
Yes.
Doing good stuff. When we come back, it's time for Song of the Day and the mailbag. Next.
The bag.
There you go.
On the ticket.
I can't hear the song.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds from the high around 39. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a south breeze and low around 28. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return, but it will be breezy. We'll see a high near 53. Meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're a big tough? If you're a big tough guy this morning,
but you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
He stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and the Ticket FM.
Song of the day from 1958, Run, Rudolph, Run by Chuck Berry. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text rating the Starter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
And then away.
Once again, your Song of the Day from 1958, Run, Rudolph, Run by Chuck Berry. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text rating on the Starter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
1958, my God. Think about that big guitar he's playing. He always would play a big guitar.
I feel bad for Bill because I had to mute that on the stream, so he couldn't hear the whole song. He heard like snippets of it, but if you heard the whole song, you'd be bobbing his head the whole time.
Could you hear? How much did you hear, Bill?
Just a little bit when Jake was talking, but I've listened to it 15 times in the last 2 days. So,
have you seriously?
Oh, yeah,
Have you seriously?
Yeah, all the time. It's incredible.
See if you can get a live version of it. The live version is really good.
Quick question for Steve. When you saw this, it was at OKC basketballs where you saw this?
Yeah, it was OKC, and it was they just fired it up during
Was
the
there
break.
a dance? Was the dance team doing a routine? Were they in Santa hats or anything like that?
Yeah, God, that's a good question. Yes, they were out on the floor, and it was part of the spectacle. And it was just, I don't know. Sometimes, Bill, you've been in moments where the moment just hits you really, and you just feel like you're in heaven. You've called it. What's your word?
Xanadu.
Yeah, it was like Xanadu. It just, the crowd went crazy. We were having a great time. I was having a great time with Cashton and Dominic and Alex. And then that song came on, and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is incredible.
Just enhance the mood.
Yeah, I don't know. That song blaring over loudspeakers in an arena is really, really, it sounds really good.
Now, we did ask for that to be played at PBA on Friday. Never heard it. They played many
That's
Christmas
interesting,
songs.
Keith, man.
Never heard
Respond.
Run, Rudolph, Run at Pinnacle Bank Arena, unless I missed it early on. But I was there from tip-off to the end of the game. Didn't hear the song at all.
I like when he says, and away went Rudolph whizzing like a saber jet. And away went Rudolph whizzing like a saber jet. Anyway, Bill, you go first this time since you're joining us from the outer reaches.
Outer reaches of Nebraska. That's a 9779. 9779. Incredible. Yeah, one of the top. The energy is ridiculous. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Steve. Steve, you brought this to light.
He did. This is on SIP.
Listen to Billy's that. Thanks for joining us. You don't. It's nice that he does this. You don't have to. Yes, it's not easy. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do. And when I was,
kind of it, but I'm just so happy to be in Broken Bow right now. I'm giddy.
What time's your speech?
In about 10 minutes.
Oh, it's a morning breakfast.
No, it's late morning. Late morning. So we have plenty of time. I'll have to depart for a sound check here towards the end of the show, but I'll be a participant as long as I can.
Okay, so my score, and we'll get to Ben in a second. I'm with Bill. I go 9-8. I can't listen to the song enough. I haven't overdone it so far, but thank you for playing it. 9.8.
Ben, please tell me you rated this properly.
Bill, come on, you got to guess Ben's score.
7-9.
Okay.
7.0.
Nice guess.
7.0. That's respectable for Ben.
Yes. You like that, Ben? Yeah.
And
like
Steve, I didn't look back if he was bobbing his head at all.
Do you like that song, Jake?
Oh, yeah. That's a 9+ for sure.
Yeah.
It has to be. Before we get to the mailbag, text line, some scores here. We've got Gavin and Pender, a 7. John in Southeast Lincoln, 9.8. Who Clemens? Bert! 8! Even from afar, we can get it. We can make it happen.
Worked.
Nice,
Good
Bill.
job.
8 from Bird in Columbus, who Bill will see here shortly in Broken Bow.
It's freaking me out.
It's also speaking.
Freaking me out.
Bill and Bennett, 7.5. Eric says, holy crap, Jake kind of has the show on time, though a bad song. No Christmas music, 0.9.
Who's that?
That was Eric, who likes to give me bad scores all
that's
the
right.
time.
That's right.
Brett and Bertrand, 6.85. Doug in Idaho, 9.0. Jennifer and Hubby. Jennifer, 8. Hubby, 7.5. They say fun as the description there.
Fun.
Kevin in Centennial, Colorado says a 10.
Whoa.
On Run, Rudolph, Run. Casey from Seward, 1.6. Grinch. That's the Grinch there. Craig, 2. Chet in Nebraska City, 2. Scott, Minnesota says, Brett in Minnesota says, tuned in late. Bill is in my hometown right now of Broken Bow. Yes, he is. Brett. He's there. Bearded Ben, 8.2. It slaps, Jake, 9.5 from Grant.
It
in
slaps,
the bottom.
so that's a good thing.
It's our friend from Grant in the bottom.
Wait a second, in the bottom?
Yeah, Grant.
Hello, Grant.
Yeah, it's our friend. So there's your rating on Song of the Day. The song again, Run, Rudolph, Run, from 1958 by the great Chuck Berry.
Grant could come right over that bridge over there.
Good.
And join us.
He should join us.
Yes.
It is time, without further ado, for the mailbag. Let's fire it up. The words, Bill, you do not want to hear in IT are what?
I've been hacked.
No, those are terrible words. Terrible words.
Really bad.
If you are smart and you want to avoid that problem, you probably should talk to our friends at Applied Connective Technologies. They're in Albion, Norfolk, Columbus, Lincoln, Omaha. They're across the state in all 93 counties. They manage IT and cybersecurity, audio, video, infrastructure, and more. Please get a free consultation today from Will, Kyle, and the guys at Applied Connective, appliedconnective.com, the website to check that out. Okay, mailbag. First question comes from John. John says, good morning. There is a hypothetical crisis. One of your friends has been trying to get someone to be a Santa at a daycare for the morning and hasn't had any luck. Would you be able to be Santa for the morning at a daycare? Santa Sip, Santa Bill, or Santa Jake? Who's the best Santa option of us three?
I'd say Bill.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally
I
agree
would
with
say
that.
Jake. I would say Jake.
He's
And
skinny though. Like
Jake,
yeah.
that would be the issue. Would be that it would be like it'd be a very fit Santa. Yes,
It'd be
fitness.
odd.
You can't have a fit Santa, though. It doesn't
But
work.
we can stuff you with pillows. I believe in.
I want to hear him. Is his voice equipped?
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, God, it is
pretty good.
That answers that question.
Yeah.
Maybe Bill's right here.
Yeah,
Jake
Jake would be the best because we could stuff him and he would be the best. And I'd like to be there for that event.
I will admit, I did purchase a Santa outfit like 2 years ago. I have one. I own one. I own a Santa outfit. I do. Yep, I own one.
Why do you own one?
I just, we make random purchases sometimes, thinking about down the road you might use it. I own a full Santa outfit that would require the
Bill,
stuffing.
could you address this, please?
Once every 3 months, something comes up on air where we're all just taken aback. This is probably the most right here. The fact that Jake has purchased his own Santa outfit just in case.
Bill, would you please
it really was
continue to address this because I don't even know what to say right now.
I have one.
I don't either. Just he has right now. He's moved it from his previous house to his. He could find it right now.
I found it the other day. I know where it's at. I looked for it the other day because I want to get the hat out. I went to a party and I took the Santa hat out to a party on Saturday, so I know exactly where the whole thing is at.
I'm going to tell you right now with 100%. I know this is factual. That me and Steve have never considered buying a full Santa outfit.
I don't know why. I was just going to say the same thing.
I don't know why
I've
you
never
would.
even considered the notion of buying one.
No. And Jake has one, and he knows where it's at, and he purchased it on his own.
I've never worn it. You could use it. It's just still unworn. So
this solves the question of who would be the best Santa.
This was almost like what was his other one, Bill? It was something to do with the tanning bed when he made some odd.
I spray tanned.
Yeah.
One time, still one time only.
I spray tanned.
All of a sudden, just out of the blue, we're talking about something. Jake just goes, "I spray tan," and this is the same. I spray tan, and I bought my own Santa suit.
Thank you, Bill. You remember that? I spray tan.
I still have done it one time my entire life, still to this day, one time. But
if Jake
if
Jake whips in a Santa suit completely bronzed, that would be incredible.
Bronze Santa, how about that? Yeah, bronze Santa. I could do that.
Your ho 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 was throaty and good. It was a good job.
It was very good.
Next up to Kip. Kip says, "What is the Christmas tradition that you are most looking forward to this year?" He says his is, "We got my mom a photo book reflecting the year and is the best thing to watch her look through it. Merry Christmas to the stool."
It's my mom's cookies all the time.
Smart answer.
She gave me a preview the other day, just out of the blue. She gave me a kind of like a care package, and there was those. I'm not going to get into it. Everybody's mom maybe has a recipe that freaks you out, and I've never had cookies better than my mom's in my life, and I never will. They're weird. They're strangely good. So I look forward to that more than anything.
Was it
Bill?
there's a tradition on Christmas Eve. Generally, it could be prior, could be post of if attendance of church on Christmas Eve, where there's a stocking situation that's always went on at our house. But everyone at the house does a shot of Mogan David wine, and they do a shot of Mogan David wine, and that is And that is what my grandpa Rudy used to buy a gallon of it, screw top lid. There's a gallon of it. And every time when you came to his house out on the farm, when you came, you always got a shot of Mogan David wine. And my mom, and that was her dad, has continued that tradition, and that will continue on through our family for life. And so that's always a big part of it.
That's a good one.
A gallon of Mogan David wine. Yes.
What's it taste like?
Yeah, what does it taste like? Good question.
It's kind of a sweet grape taste. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's yeah. So
Okay.
it's that would be the one thing you never want to you always want to carry on.
I'd say Christmas morning caramel rolls. That's been a long time tradition. They're very, very good.
Does your mom make those?
Yes.
Could I get one of those by chance, Jake? Is there a way that I could obtain?
We always have leftovers, Bill, so I can bring one to you for
I
sure.
will finance it if your mom needs money to finance this.
We can make this happen. I'll get you a caramel roll.
Finance it.
Courtesy of my mom.
Ben can't talk. I wonder what Ben does. Keep going.
To Michael in Hawaii, says, aloha and melekalikimaka, three-legged stool, and fellow breakers. If you describe someone as being the Grinch of college football, who is the first person that comes to mind? Who is the Grinch of college football
right now?
Current, not in the past. Right now. Is there an obvious name out there?
There are coaches who are speaking out against the way it is. I'm just trying to think of the best one. Jay Norvell would come to mind.
He's kind of grinchy right now. He's kind of grinchy. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, Jay Norvell. I would say Jay Norvell comes to mind, and James Franklin. He was talking about the quarterback who went into the
Bo Pribula, the backup quarterback,
and he went on he got on his soapbox. James Franklin, and talked about the ills of college football that forced his quarterback into this decision that he didn't want to make. I mean, they're in the playoff, but his quarterback's got to make this decision to jump in the portal while they're in the playoff. And James Franklin went on a pretty nice little rant about it. Not as good as the Jay Norvell rant about college football, but pretty good one. So I'd say those two stick out.
Bill?
Yeah, I guess the one that would probably, but you couldn't tie it to anything current, would be the new head coach at North Carolina, Belichick. But he's done nothing recently that says that. But over history, it's never been a real warm, fuzzy feeling towards the media or press conference. I mean, that everyone discusses right now how they can't wait to see what it's like when a player walks into his office asking for more NIL money.
I've got two names, and the one would actually be the former coach at North Carolina. Mac Brown was pretty grinchy the last week or so.
Grinchy.
I know he's not there. He's been replaced, but he's still recent enough I can say he's a Grinch. Mac Brown, not in a good mood right now on his way out of North Carolina.
No, he wasn't.
And based on what we heard in the press conference between Matt Rule and Bill O'Brien, I might call Bill O'Brien a Grinch right now.
Really?
He was pretty grinchy
I
in
never
that.
did hear him. I never did.
I never heard it.
He was pretty critical of the direction right now of college football. But a lot of coaches are. He said, Matt's like, I'm not going to go there. But Bill's like, Matt's not doing it, but I will go there in terms of thoughts on college football. So I go Bill O'Brien, but more so Mac Brown, the Grinch of college football.
Yep. So those are good ones. Those are good ones.
There we go. That's the mailbag, sponsored by our friends at
bag.
Applied Connective Technologies. Thank you for the questions today. The Christmas questions. We take those.
Thank you.
Yes. When we come back, speaking of bowl games, how can college football fix the broken bowl game system? We'll discuss that next on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Sandhills Global on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Make Hog Wild the centerpiece of your holiday meal. Pre-order a 4-pound boneless ham for $50, a 12-pound whole smoked turkey, or a 4-pound turkey breast for $55. A complete meal includes your choice of a whole turkey or turkey breast, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, green beans or corn, and a dozen rolls for $130. Pre-order online at GoHogWild.com soon. Quantities are limited. All weights are approximate before cooking. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, Lincoln.
but don't be late, we close at 8.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Busch Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Busch Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at BoickFarmOutfitters.com. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store year after year after year. Located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road, stop in today to get your holiday shopping done and mention this ad for a free pair of dress socks. M Suits Clothiers.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The bell rings and the school day starts. The future of our fiber hoods lies in their hands. That's why Allo Fiber invests in schools, students, and the next generation of leaders. If you sign up for Allo service between now and December 31st, Allo will donate $50 to the school of your choice. Joining the Allo Fiber family isn't just about crazy fast, reliable internet. It's about giving back to your local community and investing in what matters most. Switch to Allo today and we'll donate $50 to your chosen school. Visit allofiber.com/education to make a difference now.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it comes to a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, brand, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, We would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Wake up, Lincoln.
I overslept. Damn rooster didn't crow.
It's time for Early Break, sponsored by Midwest Bank. Live from Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
I'm wrong, but I'm not.
Husker Online, Steve Sipple.
If I were a feral cat.
And longtime college football assistant coach, Bill Busch.
You get one team. Mine's the Houston Oilers. I'm not the Texans, and I'm not the Titans, so I'm out.
This is Early Break.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Wednesday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Bill Busch on Early Break. Hour 2, as always, sponsored by our friends at Midwest Bank. Member
FDIC.
Location in South Lincoln at 27th and Jamie Lane, also at 70th and Pioneers. And we know, Bill, that you were out in Broken Bow, but I'm sure you've talked to Shin Daddy about what's happening today in Creighton at Midwest Bank.
We did. We talked late last night. It's going to be one of those festive but yet rewarding, fun days. Today it's Wednesday. It's Christmas bonus day. At the bank.
That's a great day. Yeah.
Christmas bonus day. In any customer, they get $144 cash. Actually, it's not cash. It's Creighton bucks. It's what you can spend in Creighton. But every store in Creighton is involved in this. And so they get $144 for every year they've been a customer at the bank.
Whoa!
So if you've been there for 30 years, do the math, and that would be a lot of Creighton bucks.
Yes.
And so you come in right there, and Shin Daddy's the one handing them out. He's got an old school calculator. It's like, thank you. I've been here for 26 years. They do boom, boom, boom. He hands out the Creighton bucks.
$3,000.
Yeah, and people just head out having a blast. They're just spending money. And guess what it does, Steve? It helps the economy. Think about it.
Does.
It helps the economy. Yes, it does. So
we've given out free money before around here.
Whoa.
So Pork Chop was a big part of this,
yes.
Getting this done. Doug Johnson, the owner and CEO of the entire Midwest Bank chain, obviously was in charge of this. And so it's a great situation for us to be able to get that started. And Steve's very excited. So it's bonus day today, $144 for every year that you were involved in this.
And it's what are now leave it to me to always make things sort of difficult, which I do. What are the parameters? Like how far can you go? Where does the Creighton bucks stop is what I'm getting at.
As far as, well, every single business in the community is involved. And so you can go grocery store, you can go walk right across the street to Walton's Electronics. And all of a sudden you're walking out of there with a brand new washer and dryer. And so it's every single store is involved in town, and also you can share the bucks. So that some might keep on giving, someone might share their bonus with someone else. So it is going to be. I mean, can you imagine the mood in Creighton today with people just walking around with just
bucks everywhere? I can imagine the jealousy in Wakefield. I mean,
yes,
right,
everybody. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good one. Shindy's doing so. Shindy's is he looking forward to a break? Does he have a break coming up?
Yes, he does. He is taking off between the holidays. He will be off all the entire time between Christmas and New Year's. And that's a lot of that is because that's when Petiti and Sankey reach out to him a lot just on updates they think that he's working on for them. With the Big Ten and the SEC and where things are going. So that's his time that he gets a chance to kind of sit back kind of evaluate. But he'll be on a lot of Zoom calls with those two guys also during that time.
Petiti and Sankey.
Yes.
And
That's a
Shindy.
power combo, power trio right there.
Power trio. Yes.
Wow, he's got a lot on his plate all the time.
Schindler, Sankey, and Petiti. Whoa.
How's things
Like a
at the
law
hotel,
firm.
Bill? How are things there right now? Anybody knock on your door? Did you get in any trouble?
There's been no one. I think we're pretty clear. I think right now there's been no trouble. I'm looking forward to. I have not departed yet. I'm looking forward to heading down for a cup of coffee and hopefully a Danish. But that caramel roll thing that Jake's got going on Christmas, I'm really excited about that.
It is very nice. Have you played the grand piano during the break at all, Bill?
I have not. I've not tickled the
Oh,
ivories
come on.
at all. But like I said, it's one of my Bill Strills from a while back. Learn how to play the piano.
Yes.
I wish I had that skill set, and I don't. And
Yeah,
it's never too late, Bill.
And you have
Never
not
too
had
late.
coffee yet? Is that what you're telling me?
I've had a small one that I've made in house right here in the room. Yes,
Okay.
right here in the room.
Oh, you did
And
that.
I made coffee this morning, and no one's drinking it because Bill usually
Well,
drinks.
Jake also has been on this. Well, there's been several times. Well, in the last 2 weeks, let's just say what it is, Jake.
A little late.
The coffee I've had to wait a long time for because Jake's been showing up late to work. So Jake now
later, not late, but later. Yes.
What's
that's
going
fair.
on, Jake? Is everything
Jake
okay?
now, well, he's got problems. There's problems at home. This move didn't solve everything with Elizabeth. And so
It drives a few minutes longer.
still some things are working through. But now Jake has been using basically a timer system, and he's been pre-making the coffee. And so it's ready to
arrive was made.
Yes. So when I arrive, it's ready. And that's happened. Yes. And so Jake
like
mentioned it to me last night when I told him I was calling in from afar. He says, the coffee was going to be ready.
And it was.
It was. So
But you can still have
we
some.
like the new system.
I'm going to have some at the break.
Okay. Thanks to Shin Daddy Midwest Bank for always sponsoring Hour 2. 464-5685. Call or text as always. It's been a conversation now for a couple weeks, but I saw Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports write about it. And the question was simply, how can college football fix the broken bowl game system? Bill, you told us yesterday you look forward to watching all these games, but the common fan maybe doesn't care as much about the bowl games as much in the past. And Dodd writes a couple things in terms of options that could be discussed to make the bowl games
What are they?
better. He says you could incentivize players to play with bowl revenue being a possibility, as well as doing away with conference affiliations to provide better matchups in the bowl games.
We got to ask Bill the question.
What's that?
Is it broken? I mean, are we establishing that it is broken?
There is significant change. Just if you go back to our day, Steve, there was no playoffs. So every bowl game was interesting and there was less bowl games. Now there's more.
15. Hey, Bill, how about this one? Get ready for this. Dodd wrote this. When we were young in 1987, when we were still young, better times. In 1987, better times. 1978, there were 15 bowls. 15 bowls. There was. Think about. I read that.
There was teams going winning eight or nine games and not making a bowl game.
Right. That was 1978. And when I read that in Dennis's column, I just paused and thought, wow, that was better times. Now there's 41 bowls in addition to the playoff games. 41 bowls. There were 15. That's why I always, Bill, now we just are gentlemen and we have to agree to disagree. I like college football back then way better. I know what you're going to say. Well, yeah, they voted for a playoff. They voted for the champion back. Yeah, they did. But it was cooler. Those bowls meant a lot. And now they're just throwaway games.
When you watched even a little later on, let's just say you go to 86 to maybe 88, sometime like that. Steve, you remember watching the Holiday Bowl? It was remarkable. I mean, BYU or Oklahoma State, the Holiday Bowl was treated like it was just a shade below the Rose Bowl, just right behind it. It was a big deal to go to that bowl game. Also, I mean, you're looking at, how many teams are in the bowl games now? 20 or somewhere in that nature, maybe more like 12 like that only have 6 wins.
Oh, yeah.
A lot, including Nebraska.
Yeah, so you have 6 wins. That doesn't create a lot of interest. I will say this, though. The game last night, West Virginia in Memphis, incredible. 42-37. Incredible game. Both teams
Who won
were
the game?
Memphis won 42-37, and both teams were extremely interested. And so that part of it was good. But the interest level is different because now everyone feels West Virginia and Memphis, those two teams would be like, man, we're so happy to be here. They also feel that they're potential playoff teams. Like we should be playoff teams. We should talk about the playoffs. Memphis is 25th. They won 11-2.
They finished 11-2. Yeah.
And so they're thinking that they should be, in that conversation with it. But when you expand it, it does make a difference. It does make it a difference. Just like Steve, you and myself, we enjoyed the NIT. We enjoyed it because there was a time when not as many teams made to the NCAA tournament, and the NIT was still interesting. Now there's no interest in it, but it is hard. And I don't know what else you would do besides. No one's all of a sudden going to create interest in it unless there is something financial gain or something out of it that could be.
So that's why Dennis says, if you could incentivize players with bowl revenue being a possibility, you maybe would have less opt-outs. But again, it's still in the middle of the portal season there too, of what guys going to different schools.
I know.
You have the portal still right in the middle of all the bowl games.
Not everybody's opting out. There are, like, for instance, Cam Ward is playing against Iowa State in the Pop-Tart.
Glad to see that.
Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, they are playing in the Alamo Bowl. Jackson Dart is playing in the Gator Bowl, the Ole Miss quarterback. Kyle McCord is playing. Now, you don't know, and this is what one of the bowl officials points out. It's possible that some of these guys have NIL deals that require them to play. You don't know that because we don't know what the NIL deals say. But it's possible that some of those guys are required to play. But there are guys, Bill, and this is what I always want to point out, that are still team-oriented players. There are still guys on teams all over the nation that want to play, that they want to play with their guys. They have fun doing it. They do feel loyalty to their institution and to their teammates and coaches. They're out there. We talk too much. I think we talk too much sometimes about the guys that aren't that way. Because there are a lot of guys who are that way.
100. And there was a lot of players, like we talked about earlier, that Marshall team that's very upset. There's a lot of players who want to play in that game. They're like, all of a sudden enough guys opted out. And they're like, and then I think administration just felt with that being like, yeah, we're not just going to patch a team together. We have a new coach coming in. Everything's awkward here. We've basically not renewed, which means fired our head coach that just won a conference championship. How many of those do you think have you seen, Steve, in your life? They just won the conference. They won the conference and they went to the championship game. They won it, and the coach is basically fired because he's not renewed.
Very strange.
Yeah.
It's that, Bill. I don't understand that. And he's going to a Southern Miss program that really struggled this year.
Dead last, I believe. I think they were dead last in the conference.
Yeah, I don't understand that. The other part of this, it's broken. Or it's not perfect, but the kids that go. Like, for instance, the Nebraska players that go to New York are going to have a hell of a trip that's paid for, okay? It's going to be a hell of a trip. They're going to do things that they'll remember the rest of their lives. That part of the bowl experience is still real and meaningful. And Absolutely. That's happening all over. That's happening all over. I know we tend to focus on the broken elements of college football. There's still things that make sense, and that part really makes sense to me.
Yeah, but again, the question is what Bill said in the first hour that he believes that things will change in the near future with the transfer portal. I mean, but will that change how the bowl games operate at all in terms of how we view the importance? Because right now, like I said, guys are sticking around, but a lot of guys are leaving, going to other places, or opting out. Will a change in how the portal operates during this time of year change the value of the bowl games at all? Is there any chance of that?
Now, what's change? Are you suggesting that the window be changed of when players go in the portal?
Yeah. When
I don't know what that is.
What is a possible fix for that would help the bowl games out?
I don't know how you do it. I don't have that anser.
And I would imagine that the bowl games are going to be in quite disarray on trying to find these. Every bowl game now is sponsored. Back in our day, it was just the Orange Bowl.
Right.
It went to, and then it goes to FedEx Orange Bowl. It goes to Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, all these different names. Every bowl game is now sponsored. Well, that's probably going to be a harder sell with what's coming up. Like hey, we need to have a sponsor. And they're kind of like, yeah, I don't think we're going to do that. I just don't see a lot of interest in this.
Okay,
that would be hard.
What Jake's asking, Bill, and I think we can answer this fairly clearly. Okay, the portal window right now, it opened December 8th or 9th and goes till December 28th. Because you move it. No, I don't know how you move it. You can't move it to November for obvious reasons. You can't move it to January because schools are.
There's only one way to do it is to move it later, and you have to get off the school. You have to be able to get off of the semester system. There is some that are in the quarter system, but you have to get off the school system. That's where everything's wrong. Is that you can't match the two up with semesters and school change and with the portal. So what basically has to happen is if you're a graduate assistant and you get hired as a graduate assistant in February at school A, so you're going to go to Purdue as a graduate assistant like that, they do not require you to take classes that semester. They're just like, no, we understand. You cannot get into school. You got hired as a graduate assistant. You will be out and you'll start in the summer / move on from that. If you don't come up with a plan where a student that you can move it back and they could attend and someone could leave Missouri and come to Nebraska and you do it in January and school's already started. And just for that semester, you are not in school. Basically, or there's generally always probably a 6-hour window of late classes that start in March. You have to get off of the semester system or it'll never match up ever. It's impossible. You can't do it earlier. You can't do it later, but you can do it in January if it's still possible for someone to go to the school and get there in spring ball. You have spring ball starts in March and I could get there in February. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, well, you can't do that because school's already started. You have to get, I'm not saying you want to diminish education, but you have to give them some form of a break if you're going to solve the problem with what's going on with the portal. There's no way to solve it unless you get off the semester system.
But how many schools would be willing to get off the semester system just because?
Well, when I say get off the semester system, I'm not saying abort the semester system for your school. I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm just saying that those who attend that school A, and they've already started classes, they do not have to be enrolled in school. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I'm not. No, there's no way you're gonna change the entire school. No, I'm just saying if a player is now, if he shows up just like a graduate assistant showed up in February with them take classes, I'm no way proposing that you change that. That's impossible. Right. You just allow those that come in late to be able to. If not, when else can you do the portal?
I don't think you can do it at another time. Yeah,
it's impossible. So you have to move the portal back. You have to let everything play out, and then allow them. If the student wants to leave Nebraska and they want to go to Purdue, they can do it in February, and they can still get in school. They can move on from there. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time before we get this all figured out in terms of how to get this all lined up and make it perfect. If we ever make this a perfect situation for the bowl games,
you'll get perfect. I guess
a better,
yeah.
Because there's no in the system of which I'll get to in my Bill Shrills of the NFL, which is quite a model to follow. They don't have to deal with semesters. Mm-hmm. There is none of that. That's why everything times out. That's why free agency doesn't occur with 2 weeks to go in the season. They have all these things that times out, but because they don't have to deal with this other timeline. But it's not like all 32 teams have their own timeline. It's all based off of one timeline. And I just don't see the setback would be, okay, Iowa State brought in 4 players in February that are not taking classes. I don't see where that sets the world back, but that can solve your portal problem really fast. That nothing can happen until mid-January, late January. That's you can figure things out.
I don't even know if there's a breaking point. What if they brought in 20 players and it was that circumstance? It wouldn't bother. I don't know if that would set the world back.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think that you'd look back at that. And then also at the same time, there would be almost 0 schools that wouldn't be able to say he can still get 6 hours because that will start March 23rd. There's classes that there's that start mid-semester all the time. And there's also different ways to get around it. So you're not just throwing out the educational system either, but that doesn't set anyone back. It's the only answer.
to move the portal window into January.
It's got to go back. It's got to go back. Yep, it's got to go back because you have to be able to do it after the season. But if you do it like they have it now, it's the only chance they have is go back. And the reason that it's at the time it is because everyone's saying we got to get them in school. That's the issue. They've got to be able to start school at the next place and be able to have that set. They just need to have a 1 semester get out of jail free card. If they attend in February or March, they're not in school that semester.
I'm gonna simplify this conversation a little bit. And I don't mind going on the air and displaying my ignorance sometimes. Jake, Bill, you guys might be able to help me with this. I can't tell you right now, as I sit here, who will play linebacker for Nebraska against Boston College. I don't know who those guys are. I mean, I know who left. I guess Javin Wright can play, though.
Bullock?
Yeah, I guess those guys can play. Yeah, they'll play. Okay, I can't answer it. Yeah, those guys aren't gone.
No,
they'll play.
They're still here.
Yeah, it's the only one that wouldn't is Bayer. So
he's gone.
Yeah.
So
I always have to remind myself these seniors are still around. They're going to play. I don't know why I always think they're gone because some of them do take off. It's hard to keep it all straight. And then the thing that bothers me, the thing that really, and I expressed this with Sean earlier, we don't even talk about the current team anymore.
No.
There's
about next year and the guys coming in, the guys going out, and there's still a bowl game 10 days.
There's guys over there today getting ready to practice. For a bowl game.
Steve, do you remember? It'd be the Journal Star, World Herald, all the local papers when Nebraska would go to Orange Bowls or whatever bowl game they were at. Do you remember there would be a plethora of pictures daily in the newspaper? Photos of the guys on the beach, guys. I mean, it was just, incredible coverage. We went down when we played Florida State for the national championship. I believe it was 13 days out.
Yes.
We went down 13 days.
Yes.
To go down to that. 13 days we're in a hotel.
Oh, I remember it vividly going down to. We stayed on Miami Beach when they played Tennessee, and. I was there for 15 days. It's hard to pack. I mean, I had to do laundry. It was.
You have to. 15 days, absolutely.
Yeah, it was crazy. But you're right, Bill. Tom would take the team down there 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out. And Frank, when they played Miami in the Rose Bowl, it was the same thing. I stayed in Century City, California, right outside of LA. And it was a 15-day stay. It was crazy.
And people were wondering, well, why would they do that? It was weather. It was based on better practice facilities. Yeah, because at the time, Nebraska just had the one indoor, and so the one indoor, if you're inside, that's tough practice for a full team. That doesn't work out real well. And a lot of times, Coach Osborne kept the offense outside. So if you're practicing in 24-degree weather, you're going to play it, and it's going to be 72 that night. Coach Osborne figured out real fast it's better to get to a better site for better weather for practice.
When we come back, it's time for a Wednesday edition of Bill's Thrills next on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Midwest Bank on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before. Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to AutomotiveSolutionsLincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it comes to a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, brand, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
'Tis the season to raise a little Cane by bringing Raising Cane's hand-battered cook-to-order chicken fingers to your holiday celebration. Spread joy and good cheer with crispy crinkle-cut fries, garlicky buttered Texas toast, and our signature Cane sauce. Make things even merrier with our festive beanies, socks, mugs, and more for everyone on your nice list. And for a little extra holiday spirit, drop a Cane's gift card in their stockings. Happy holidays from Raising Cane's. One love.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Go hog wild, pet barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
We're on the air.
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
To more of Early Break. Jake, you're a freaking nutcase.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We will get to Bill's Thrills in a second. Before that, quick plug for our friends at First Rate Ag in Holdridge. Bill, the logo.
First Rate.
Ben, one more time. Ben's doing it too.
Yeah, Ben is copying you. Full service ag retailer offering everything from crop protection and lawn fertilizer. 25 years in business. Please reach out at firstrateag.com or call 308-995-8327. Ask for Parker or Chris and mention the ticket. And tomorrow is Conference Call Thursday, Bill.
Conference Call Thursday. And this is kind of an emotional day for me.
Why is that?
It was basically exactly 1 year ago that I met in person Parker and Chris. That's when I was out at the farm spending a night with those guys, and that's when I got the New York strip that I was able to eat whipping down the interstate and throwing fat out the window. And my life changed that night. That was probably one of the most important nights of my life. Was the night that I spent out there with First Rate Ag, and it meant a lot to me. And it's been a life. Now we have an incredible friendship. And I said, when someone puts grilled meats in styrofoam for you for the trip home, it means a lot.
That's good people.
It sounds really good. It does.
Yes, it does.
Heavily salted.
Heavily salted. Yeah, you don't see New York strip. You don't think it was a finger food, but it really is. It really is.
It was
when you're driving. Everything's finger food.
It sounds
fake. It is.
That sounds fun. It does.
It was a good time.
Bill, good job.
Thank you to those guys.
It is time for a Wednesday edition of Bill's Thrills. Here we go.
Some call him the most interesting man in the world.
That is setting up the morel mushroom bonanza.
Oh,
yeah.
is
We
it gonna be
need
a
it.
bonanza?
Mushrooms grow better with thunder and lightning.
Others call him Coach. But to everyone else, he's Bill.
I want to get one of those military ab stimulators for us to wear during the show. You see, I sent it to you today.
It's time for Bill's Thrills on Early Break. Sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors.
Yes, as always, Bill's Thrills sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid-Plains Advisors, the ATMs, the cash cows of Lincoln. Call them at 402-730-7387 for a free consultation to plan your financial future. Today, Bill, it is a Wild Card Wednesday, so I am very curious where you are going with this today.
Well, I went on a little bit of a different thought. It's football. I went with football.
Okay.
And we talk about this a lot. So what is it when there's all this today we've talked a lot about just the strife that's going on in college football. And there's a pretty cool model to follow. And I think that would be the NFL. That would be a model that is well established. So the one thing that has to happen, like real simple, it just follow the NFL model to get the NIL under control. What has to happen? There has to be collective bargaining. There has to be contracts. There has to be contracts where you know what the numbers are, because that's all you hear about is random numbers. You don't know. Everything is different. You have no idea. No one has any clue. So there's a very clear path to what you have to get done. And if you don't collective bargain, that to have both sides come to an agreement between the two. And now it's hard because you have to collective bargain every year. That's the difference. But it makes it difficult. But there's a model. Is there any form of a tournament that happens sometimes in March that might be a model you might build a model after? Would that be?
I think there is. It involves
March Madness. Do you think the NCAA tournament has kind of been working through some things for the last 80 years of trying to figure out whatever it's been, figuring this tournament out? And then and maybe you just might want to talk to them, but they didn't. They didn't. College football went on their own. And they just said, okay, we're going to have our own 12-team tournament. We're going to have 4 buys. We're going to get this set up. And they completely messed it up. I mean, there is no way that the 10th ranked team should be the 3rd ranked team and get a bye. And so they didn't take it, and they did not put them in order. And that jacks up everyone else that has earned those rights to be in those spots. Yes, Boise State earned the right to be in the playoffs. But to be a 3 seed and have a bye, and now you have a Penn State playing SMU at home, and then their next game is against Boise, which obviously Boise's still good enough to win it. Not saying that's impossible, but you have a Oregon who their next game they have a bye, then they're playing the winner of Ohio State and Tennessee, and so I just don't feel that was done the right way. With how things should be seeded. It should be real simple. I'll give you an example. Last year, Nebraska had what was their seed, Jake? I think they were a 8 or 9 seed, right, in the NCAA tournament against A&M.
9 seed last year.
9 seed. If they would have won the Big Ten tournament, would they have automatically become a 1 seed?
No, they would not have.
No. So that's my point. And the point is that you still have the right to be in and be in the tournament and have all the opportunities to still win it all. But to be granted where they ended up at, and I have a hard time believing that Arizona State shouldn't have been at that spot, at the 4 spot. But I believe it should be. What if the Big Ten and the SEC both had undefeated teams going into the conference championship games? If that would happen, there'd be a great chance with that maybe they all should be 1s. Who wins it? Who finishes second should probably be all 1s.
Why didn't we? Why? You know what the question I have, Bill? We didn't, and we're just as guilty as anybody else. Why didn't we question this going into it?
I agree. I didn't question it either.
I didn't either. But now, why didn't we question the notion of artificial seeds? Because that's what it is. It's artificial. Yes. It's not earned seeds. These are artificial seeds. Why didn't we say, well, this could be an issue?
Yeah, and I think the biggest part, my hypothesis, Steve, is everybody felt it was going to be the 4 Power 4s. They were going to end up being that. So everybody's kind of like, okay, that makes sense. but it really doesn't. It really doesn't make sense. What if you had, I guess, like you said, what if you went through and let's just take, for example, Georgia. They won an incredible game against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had them beat a couple times, but they didn't.
Right.
But that would have been their third loss.
Okay.
Their third loss in the season. Then they win the SEC, but they've got 3 losses. I don't know. Does that make them still a 1 seed? Potentially yes. But I just felt it should have been looked at. But to Steve's point, nobody in my mind, I'm sure someone did. I didn't look at it and just say this is being seeded wrong. But when they right now, as the committee sat there, if I'm correct, Boise State is 10th. That's how they had them ranked. They had them positioned as 10th, and so the conference champion getting in, yes, to be a bye seed. I don't know about that one, and I don't think they got it right with this. I don't think there's anything right about having Boise State that played in the Mountain being a 3 seed. I
just looked now. Boise was ranked 9, but got the 3 seed.
Okay, they were 9. And the other way to look at this is when it's just in terms of flawed is Oregon. I mean, look at Oregon's path. They're the top seed, but they have a very difficult path, more difficult than the other teams. That just is a red flag, right? Why is that?
Yeah. And they have a game that's late, but everybody right now, the people are going like, "Ooh, Penn State, pretty nice." They play at home, they play at home against SMU, and then they play Boise. Now, again, could Boise beat them? Yes, but sure. They always say the body of work doesn't align for Boise to be a 3 seed, because or not. If it is, that means the committee is way off. They're way off base to have them at 9th. And so, and they're the ones that no matter if you agree or disagree, they're the ones calling the shots on who's who. And they say they're 9th, and they were 10th to 12th most of the year is where they were located at. And they also had a different situation in the championship game for them that they played it was home. You go neutral in the Big Ten, you go neutral in the SEC. So you have a different. I believe Big 12 was neutral too. Am I correct on that? Isn't that? Wasn't that in Jerry's world? Am I correct on the Big 12?
That is correct. Yes, it was. You're right.
For sure.
Correct.
Yeah, and so the Mountain West, they which I like it for attendance. They had a great crowd. When you watched that game, it was great. It really was. And so it was very interesting. But that's just one thing I just think just go back historically and just look at the NCAA tournament, how they do it. NC State made an unbelievable run last year. They had to win the tournament. They had to win the ACC tournament to get in. They didn't become a 1 seed. That's not how it worked.
They were still an 11 seed. They were an 11
seed. Yeah, they were still an 11 seed. They won the tournament. So anyway, just like I said, I think, and I believe it'll go away. But Steve nailed it. Not one time did anybody go, whoa, this is completely jacked up, until it actually happened. And I think right now, I'm sure the committee's like, whoa, I'm not sure about this, because they ranked them. There's nobody that can ever justify them being 9th and then being 3rd in the pairings.
Right. But now on the bright side, we do have a playoff.
Oh, I love
on the bright side. Yeah, we're going to have Indiana playing Notre Dame on Friday, and it's going to be incredible. And then Saturday is going to be an incredible day of football.
Good days of football.
Can you imagine Tennessee at Ohio State in the shoe?
Oh,
I cannot wait for that game.
That's it. I think it's 7:00 on Saturday. That's can't miss TV.
No, can't miss TV.
Can't miss.
And they finally get a night game. Well, it's in late December, but they went 6 games in a row at either home or away at 11 a.m. kick. So
I would just love to remove my go to that game as just a observer, not as a journalist, not just
as a fan.
Just as a fan. And
can you imagine what that's going to be like? There'll be some Tennessee fans that'll get in there, and it is going to be, that energy will be ridiculous.
Well, it'll be odd energy, Bill. If Ohio State struggles, the energy will be strange. Like, that's a strange animal.
Just lost to Michigan.
One of the biggest storylines, hands down, even though the AD is like Ryan Day's our coach, if they go and they get beat 34-13 by Tennessee in the first round at home, and they just lost to a Michigan team,
7-5
at home, 7-5 Michigan team, it will be beyond ugly. So there's a storyline. There's a storyline with Indiana going to Notre Dame. There's a storyline with that. I mean, all these games. I mean, they're really good.
It's breathtaking. It's breathtaking. Yeah. It is.
And also while they screwed up the seeding, in my opinion, they did get it right with 4 home games. That is great. Instead of going off-site for those games, those 4 home games, I can't imagine the excitement in those towns. Can you imagine right now if Nebraska was hosting Saturday night?
Yeah.
We have late December games in Penn State and Notre Dame.
Well,
Ohio State.
We always talk about the weather.
Schools.
We talk about the weather, but think about it right now in Lincoln. It would be great weather.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah. And none of these games are ridiculous. There's they're all like, it's a little chilly, but not bad.
No.
If the game was here in Lincoln on Saturday, it'd be 38 degrees, which is not great, but there's no snow.
Perfect.
Not bad. It's not terrible. It's football weather.
That's perfect.
There's been way colder days than that in that stadium.
Absolutely. There have been.
Yeah.
That is Bill's Thrills, sponsored by Dirk, Scott, and Ty at Mid Plains Advisors. Bill, do you have to tag out, or are you sticking around for the game?
I'm out. Game show's all Steve. Go, Steve.
All right, Bill.
Thank you.
Bill,
enjoy your speech. We'll talk. You'll be here tomorrow?
He's already gone.
Will he be here tomorrow?
He'll be back tomorrow, yes. He's back tomorrow on the show, in studio. So there we go. It is time to play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. A chance to take down Sip and Shut Up Sipple to win a business box of bagels. Today, just like Bill's Thrills, it is a Wild Card Wednesday. And I played Chuck Berry for Song of the Day.
Yes, you did. It was awesome.
Today, our topic is famous Chucks. If you know your famous
I like this.
Chucks of all time.
Chucks.
Why don't you call us up right now at 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call to take down Sip in trivia. No lifeline today. Just you versus our caller. How do you feel about famous Chucks?
I don't feel bad at all. It's not like I can think of a bunch off the top of my head, but hopefully
don't say them out loud.
I won't. Hopefully something will click.
I just checked. You are 2-0 on the week, 51-44 overall.
Right. Seth is on the line.
Yeah, Seth. How do you feel about famous Chucks today?
Oh, not good, man. Not good.
Okay. Doesn't feel good. Sip feels okay, so I'm not sure. I guess that's advantage Sip, but we'll see how this goes. Mano a mano, no lifeline. Seth, first question goes to you. What famous Chuck was the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts from 2012 to 2017?
Good.
Ooh.
Chuck Pagano?
Chuck Pagano.
Brilliant.
Is correct.
Ooh, I would not have had that. Seth, nice work by you.
1-0 lead. Sip, first question for you. What famous Chuck was the original host of Wheel of Fortune and went on to become the host of Love Connection, among the many other game shows?
Chuck Woolery.
Brilliant.
By the way, he passed away in November.
Is that right?
November 23rd at age 83.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, he had a great run.
Thanksgiving.
He had a great run. He had great hair. He had a great voice. He handled those shows exceptionally well.
We are 2 for 2 on Chucks. Back to you, Seth, for the lead. Last question. What famous Chuck is a former MMA artist and UFC fighter who is credited with helping bring MMA into the mainstream of American sports and entertainment?
Oh, that would be the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. Brilliant.
Good job. I would not have had that.
Chuck Liddell. I saw Chuck Liddell at the Super Bowl
did?
in February. He was walking through Media Row.
You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
He is from me to you, that close, walking by.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I knew who it was. I just wouldn't have gotten that last name. So
Okay.
good job.
So we are now 3 for 3. This is to force the tiebreaker, Sip. Last question.
Oh, boy.
What famous Chuck was a 4-time All-Star for the Minnesota Twins in the 90s and went on to the Yankees, where he developed the yips.
Chuck
Second
Knobloch.
Knobloch, yeah.
Knobloch.
Brilliant.
He had the yips. So he had the yips
with the Yankees.
Yeah, about the same time that Sachs did, Steve Sachs. Very odd. It was a very odd thing back then. Those
Late
guys,
90s.
they couldn't make the throw from second base. They would overthrow it just inexplicably.
Yeah, a lot of errors.
Or short arm it into the dirt. Like, it was odd. Yeah.
He was a force. He was a great defensive player for the Twins, and just fell apart. All right, this will go to Seth, and Sip, you will go over under Seth's number.
This is fun.
Seth, speaking of Chuck Knobloch, how many home runs did he hit in 12 MLB seasons?
Ooh, I'm going to go 214.
Sip, Chuck Knobloch. Over under 214 home runs in 12 major league seasons.
Hold on, I can do this. I mean,
second baseman.
How many did he guess?
He said 214.
214 in 12 seasons?
Yeah.
Oh, under.
Brilliant! This might surprise you. He only had 98 career home runs.
Oh,
98. A 289 career batting average, though. But 98 career home runs. Seth, nice effort. We'll get you a bagel of coffee. Thanks for calling in and calling down the road.
All right, thank you.
Great game.
That's a victory. That's guaranteed winning week by a Wednesday.
Great game. Yeah, the win streak is now 3.
And we got all 4 questions correct today.
Yeah, good job, Chuck. I had a good feeling about it. And the overall record's 52 and 44.
Now, where would you have guessed for the number?
I would have guessed 150.
That's not bad. With 98.
I would have guessed 150. When did Knobloch play again?
He was early 90s to early 2000s.
Okay, early 90s.
I guess, so maybe it was like 89 to 2001, something like that.
I was still following it semi-close at that point, especially early in Knobloch's career. It might
have been mid 2000s. He was done with. He had his last year with the Royals. Didn't go well, but mid 2000s, mid 90s to early 2000s, something like that. So congrats, though. It's a win for you.
Thank you.
3-0 in the week.
Yeah.
And there is no lifeline today for you, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Bill will be back tomorrow, but
I won't. I'm out. Big Swim is here. Swim will be in here tomorrow and Friday.
Right.
For me, I'm heading to Arizona.
Jake is heading to Arizona.
Be back. I'll be back Monday for the show, though, and I think it's gonna be just you and me, because I think Bill is gonna be gone next week.
Okay, this is the time of year where it gets a little weird, shaky. Yeah.
And you add in a bowl trip, which gets even shakier.
Right.
Next end of next week. So.
Right. So anyway, tomorrow, programming note, you'll be out. Swim will be in.
And Friday as well.
Yeah, Swim will be in, but me and Bill will be here both days.
That's correct.
All right.
So when we come back, the spillover is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
You're listening to Early Break with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Busch. Sponsored by Midwest Bank. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
At Midwest Bank, they want to thank all the generous donors who helped make their 2024 turkey drive for schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, they raised enough money to provide 153 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, they made Thanksgiving Day for those families a little brighter. They want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Hey farmers, if you don't already, you need to get to know the guys at Busch Farm Outfitters. If you're ready to turn your sprayer into a money-saving smart machine, they can hook you up. If you just want to get your chemicals from some good guys that care about your operations goals, they want to chat. They work with progressive growers all over eastern Nebraska to assist with equipment upgrades and input options. Busch Farm Outfitters is equipping the modern farmer. Check them out at BuschFarmOutfitters.com. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
M. Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store year after year after year. Located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road, stop in today to get your holiday shopping done and mention this ad for a free pair of dress socks. M. Suits Clothiers.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. The holidays are here, and Fairway has everything you need for charcuterie boards, shrimp trays, party platters, wine, beer, spirits, and more. Plus, custom fresh cuts on USDA choice or prime grade beef, all-natural pork, fresh chicken, and seafood. Your holiday meals start at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R. When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henry's at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars. With the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the Spillover with AD, sponsored by our friends at Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love, AD. Good morning. We have been trying to chat about how to fix the bowl games. Are you in tune with us that the bowl game system is broken right now?
Do they need to be fixed?
Oh, hang on. Wrong one. There we go.
AD is with us.
Full disclosure here, I was in the shower listening to you guys during this conversation. And I'm with you in that, first of all, I think it's diluted like crazy. Like you said, there's 40-something bowl games. I didn't even know there was a bowl game on last night, until I was asking Nick in the car. Memphis beat West Virginia.
Yep.
But the novelty, the uniqueness of bowl games, if it's not, I would say after Christmas games, January 1st, 2nd, or whatever they are, I think people lose interest pretty quick if it's not your school in there. Like back in the day, like you said, better time 78, 88, whatever it was. Heck, 98. You didn't have 40 bowl games. And like you mentioned this morning, I think it was either you, one of you guys said it. There were 8-win teams that didn't make bowl games back in the day. If you didn't reach that magical number 9 somehow, you weren't going bowling.
God dang it.
And so I don't know, man. I don't have the answer to fix it. I just don't, because money's too involved now.
I mean, we do this thing where we say it's broken. I guess it's broken. It doesn't, if you look at it the right way, if you can tolerate some of this stuff, it's not broken. If you can just say to yourself, okay, Nebraska and Boston College are going to play on December 28th. The world's not going to care. I mean, the college football world doesn't care about Nebraska and Boston College, but we do.
Right.
Boston College fans do. Nebraska fans do. Can't that be good enough?
Oh, I'm very happy that Nebraska.
Can't that be good enough? I
glad Nebraska's in a bowl. I think it's. I'm not saying that people won't watch if they have a vested interest, if they're alma mater, or if it's closer or something of that nature. I just think the uniquenesses of it, it's gone.
That's why Jake, we're of a certain age, me and AD. It was better times.
Yeah.
Now Bill always pushes back and says, yeah, better times. They voted for a national champion. For some reason, it was still cooler. I thought.
I don't necessarily like the voting on the national champion part, but
I didn't mind it.
But I do like the part.
I didn't mind it.
I do like the part that there was a lot of vested interests from the players, administration, fans, etc.
That's it.
That part, I just
thank you.
I miss those days, man.
I know.
Oh, I miss those. Man, dude, I didn't spend a Christmas at home.
I didn't either.
We're
always gone.
And I think that was you that said that. They're going to go to New York. They're going to have a hell of a time. Mm-hmm. I still can think of fun that I can't mention on the radio that we did in Miami.
Sure.
I mean, it was and we're 50-something years old now. Mm-hmm. Dante Jones and Ed Stewart, and those guys are 51, 52, etc. Those guys are 53, but it was better times. And it's easy. The old guys like me and you, Sip.
It's obnoxious.
But we didn't. I'll never forget those. Like you said, those kids are never going to forget going to New York, man.
They're not. They'll be taken care of.
And for some of them, besides the trips they've taken with the team, obviously, that'd be a lot of their times first time going to New York.
Right. Oh, it'll be a great experience for a lot of those kids. And they'll have things. They're going to take them to certain things. I think they're taking them to like a Broadway play. I think that's going on. I don't know everything on their itinerary, but they're just not going to go there and stay in the hotel room and then go to practice. They'll have a set itinerary, and it'll be awesome.
I think they'll take them to Harlem.
And today we're going to the Bronx. We're taking the full Bronx tour today.
We're going to the Harlem.
All right, maybe just see it. It'll be a magnificent.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
It'll be a magnificent time.
I was driving through New York City by accident one time. Yeah. If that makes sense, it should make any sense to you at all. I was driving back from Vermont, trying to go to Nashville when I was selling books back in the summertime.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And you work, you're just drained from working all summer long, and you set the GPS, send me from Vermont to Nashville. You can always say avoid big cities or avoid.
Yeah.
It was like at 10 o'clock at night. I said, that looks like a big city up ahead.
You went through New York.
I went straight through New York City. And I tell you what, here's the worst part. I was running low on gas.
Oh, man.
And I don't know. I think it was the Bronx area I was in. And I said, I got to get gas. And there's a guy outside that says, we don't use a card reader here. We write the card down. I said, I don't think so. I said, can I give you $20 cash? He's like, that's fine. So I mean, people were giving him their card that he would write down and then go inside and run it. I said,
no.
Who would do that?
Jake,
here's $20. I'll get it down the road somewhere else, but I need gas badly right now.
I'm proud of you, my actress,
and this was in at midnight. I said, traffic.
Midnight.
A Yankees or Mets game had just gotten over. It was horrible traffic at midnight. It was raining. I mean, it was an absolute disaster.
He thought he had a
somehow we get out of, I was there's a guy who was following me, and we lost each other because it was my GPS kind of crapped out below a tunnel. This is before. It's the Garmin. I had a Garmin. Wasn't using my actual phone. My GPS crapped out, so I took a wrong turn. Somehow we met up like 2 hours later at 2 a.m. and I said, I think we're close to Piscataway. I know that's Rutgers. Let's go stay in Piscataway. So we got a Motel 6 at 2:30 in the morning in Piscataway.
That's an interesting trip.
And it was a very scary couple hours.
Yeah.
But then we toured Rutgers the next day. I saw the stadium.
The funny comment
basketball
is
place.
That's a big city coming up.
Did you notice?
Did you notice New York City?
So remember he mentioned the Garmin?
Yeah.
Back in our day,
I don't remember that.
We stopped the car and bring up that big atlas map. Okay, where am I at
Right.
here?
The Garmin you would just stick up on your windshield. It was a holder for that. It was like putting your phone. It was about the size of a phone. Put it up there and it would stick and it would show you where to go. And again, I had no brain power left. I was fried from working all summer. I said, just take me home. Take me to Nashville.
That's an interesting
Didn't
time.
realize we're going to go to New York City, at midnight on that trip. So
Those times though are awesome for growth.
Yeah, they are.
Just when you're in a bind like that, that is
figured
a
out.
growth time. Yeah,
You figured out.
I did. I was glad that we didn't lose each
Good
other.
job,
Found
Jake.
each other.
And here you are.
Piscataway. Yep.
And here you are.
Here we are. That's it for us. The drive with Raf, AD, and AG is next. I will see you on Monday. Swim in tomorrow and Friday for me with Bill and Sip.
Okay.
But for now, we will see you. Bye.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time.